Logan, on the defensive side of the ball, Florida State only gave up 164 total yards of offense. On the flip side of that, something that a lot of people came out against, only one sack. One sack, 6 tackles for loss in a game like that. Talk about the defensive play that in this game. Jared Verse coming up with the 1 sack. But I think that Florida State should be given a lot of credit. I mean, you're talking about literally an entire game, not the greatest field conditions, and only giving up 164 total yards of offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that stat line with the 1 sack is what all the FSU fans and everybody wondering why wasn't there 3, 4? Where's Fabian Levitt? Where's Robert Cooper? Norvell said it best. I mean, they were getting the ball out quick as hell. I mean, I saw a stat where they threw the ball faster out than any other college football team did last year. I mean, they were throwing out 2-point-something seconds, making sure they did their game planning. They knew about Florida State's defensive line and that edge with Jared Verse, Derek McLennan, Briggs on the side there. They did their good, game prep and knew that was just not going to work with sitting a quarterback back there for more than 2 and whatever seconds that they had. So that's why I'm not too concerned there on the edge rushing part of things. Verse comes away with the sack, no shocker there. And if anybody's worried about Verse or whatnot, don't be. I mean, if you go back and watch some of the film from last Saturday night, he was everywhere, and that's nothing shocking from anybody that's watched him in fall camp or read up on any of the outlets that have been writing about him. He's a guy that will play a factor in both pass rush and run game, and he'll go east to west very quickly. So I'm not too worried about that on that front, but I do think out of the linebacker room, I mean, those guys look good to me. I know Gaynor kind of got switched around quite a bit, and that's something that has kind of been through his career where I think film later on in the season helps that for him. But starting off, that was a tough game. But shout out to Kalen DeLoach, who I thought had a really nice game, along with Tatum Bethune. That tweet from earlier today of Bethune going, I saw that one live. I was able to see that one before the press box window was fogged out of its mind. But watching Tatum Bethune go from the middle of the field all the way over to the right hash and come away almost with a tackle for loss there. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted from Bethune, the transfer from UCF. He's exactly just everything that you wanted. I mean, you just, a tandem now with having Kalen DeLoach next to it, a guy who broke out last season. Kalen looked good, just looked like in midseason form from last year. That's a really nice tandem to have. You got to hope Gaynor can get healthy there, but you got to see Omar Graham Jr. in there, and you also have Brendan Gant, who, as we all know, and we've known this since he was a freshman, he's not afraid to come down and hit. And if he gets that playbook down and everything, then he can come in and sub in for a Gaynor when need be.
Logan, Gaynor, has he officially been declared out for this game, or what did Mike Norvell say earlier this week?
Yeah, he said probably, and so I'm taking that into effect that he will not see number 33 out there on defense on Saturday. And so you're looking at Gant, and I think this team also is going to give some chances, and we'll see. This is LSU, so I'm not going to see a whole ton of them, but Omar Graham Jr. is going to have to step up here just depending on the length of Gaynor's injury. But I've been told from a lot of people around the program, Omar Graham Jr., one of the smartest guys in that locker room. And if you go back and watch some of the film, he was one of the sleeper guys coming into this recruiting class. Everybody's up there, Azrae Thomas, Sam McCall, but Omar Graham Jr., going back, watching some of his highlights that he did there in his senior season, Omar Graham Jr. is a special athlete. If he can continue to get that playbook down, I think they're going to give him some more options and give him some more PT during some of these practices. I wish we could give more details on what that looks like, but I'm expecting to see a good amount of Omar Graham Jr., which would really excite me because I think year 2 from him, he's a potential guy to jump in that starting unit.
I would expect more.
I like his jersey number.
Me too. I don't want him to change it.
Yeah, it's good. We've had really good success with guys who have that number. So, but yeah, those guys are pretty good.
I mean, I would expect more from a Child's High guy. I'd expect him to, be able to play through pain, but those Child's High guys must be a little bit soft, I guess.
I didn't get to see that on TV. Like I said, we couldn't see anything second half up there. But what happened? Was it on TV? Did we get to see what happened?
It didn't really look like anything, but I know,
crazy.
Sometimes those injuries kind of just kind of get a little freaky. So, but